Hey, good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on the Daily Brew. I feel like we're trying to keep hope, but it's a bit of a somber day.
And we're all black.
I was going to say, I didn't get the memo. Everyone's in a little bit of black.
Yeah,
Right.
I was just saying, mine was in solidarity with Tiffany and the Arkansas Hog Razorback fans. I mean, as you'll see in a little bit, my family's starting to like them more too, so it's a sad day all around.
I'm just
Yeah.
depressed. Honestly, it was hard to get out of bed this morning.
I know they lost to LSU.
The worst team to lose to.
I know, 6
Not
to
only
5.
that, and the worst way to lose as well.
I know. There were some mistakes there at the end. And it's heartbreaking because these guys, they have played so well all season. I mean, one of our very best players kind of made one of those mistakes, and it's just like that never happens, you know? So what people are saying is it's the Omaha curse. It happened in 2018. Mistake happened that had never happened. Kind of same thing happened last night.
Right.
And so I'm starting to believe it. I don't believe in curses, but I'm starting to believe in it.
I would say it could definitely be there. I mean, Minnesota sports will entertain you guys. We have a curse as well. We haven't won a professional sports championship since 1991. Similar to Arkansas hasn't won since 1994 for basketball. I don't know what it is. We just find ways to lose. So I'm hoping that maybe our curses can clash and somehow break, or maybe I'm just doubling them over. I don't know, one way or the other.
I don't know, but it was hard, guys. It was hard, and we were in a group text. One of my husband's best friends was on the 2018 team, so we were in a group text with him during the game.
Oh, no.
And I don't even think he could text. His wife was texting for him. She was like, there are a lot of emotions in this household right now.
But just to watch some of them, like walk off the field, some of them who won't be returning, right? Because they're
tears.
done.
Right.
It's, that's the end of it.
Well, and even the announcers, right? A lot of times they just talk about the team that just won. You could tell the announcers felt so bad for the Razorbacks too, because they're like, oh yeah, we're happy for LSU, but wow, what a heartbreak for Arkansas, and they kept talking about it, and I feel like they showed the Razorbacks more than they would have shown another team, kind of showing like how upset they were because we were so close.
So close, so close.
I think one point to add to Joe's point, some of them may be going to the major leagues, maybe playing baseball overseas.
A lot of them are getting drafted.
But some of them may never play baseball again. Yeah. And that's kind of sad. That might be your last game. That's the way it ends. That's just a tough way to go.
Well, and there was video of, some of the players like collecting dirt and stuff from the field to take before they went home, because that's like their last memory.
Yeah, their last one for sure. And I don't know, Jonan, do we have the video? Here we go. Who is this, Danny?
So Tiffany is already his biggest fan. So that is my nephew, James. So he's just about to turn 2 next month. And then that's his dad, my brother-in-law, on the couch with him.
And where do they live at?
So this is back home in Minnesota, about 20 minutes north of the Twin Cities, north of the St. Paul area, if you're familiar with that, the capital. James is, as any 2-year-old or almost 2-year-old is, he's very erratic with his emotions. One minute, he can be the happiest little guy in the world. He can be screaming, yelling. And the next, he's sad crying and sad screaming. And so sometimes what my parents, or I should say parents, his parents, my brother-in-law and sister try to do is give him to TV. Usually he loves Blippi. That's what he loves to lock into. He used to love Miss Rachel. Now he's just kind of off that. I don't know. He just doesn't like it anymore. He loves cars. He loves trucks. And apparently, Arkansas baseball.
He likes the Razorbacks.
Yes,
We need to get him a little Razorback shirt.
I know. I was going to say, I know they want to visit. And that was my younger brother, Joe, filming that. So, Joe, shout out to him for sending that to me. And he captured the moment. He's like, all right, he loves Jimmy. We all love Jimmy, obviously. But usually to see him that locked into something is very rare. And it's just really fun. And he's holding, I think it's a book of cars in his left hand. So you can see that. And you can see the Hot Wheels track. Once it pans, you can see the Hot Wheels track kind of panning over. And he just loves cars.
So cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
So he's my first nephew and my parents' first grandchild. So we all love him to death.
They're going to be Razorback fans before you know it.
We're recruiting them young.
I was going to say, I don't know if he'll be the biggest guy, but he loves his golf. And he loves maybe some baseball, so you never know.
There we go. Love that, love that. All right, another big thing today, the Karen Reed trial coming out. That news late yesterday. Have you guys been following this trial?
Not really.
I've seen I read a bit of history yesterday. It is wild, the amount of information coming out of this.
Absolutely. Now, she had her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, was an officer at the time whenever this happened. He died. He was left in the snow. They determined, it was murder. So there's already been one trial over whether she killed him or not, and it was a mistrial. The jury was locked. This time around, they found her not guilty of murder and manslaughter. So yeah, a lot of supporters outside of the courthouse. She gave a statement and she said, no one has been trying to find justice more for John O'Keefe than me, her supporters, behind her on this. It's just, I don't know. It's just a weird kind of trial because I figure most of the time they get found guilty, right? I mean, I just feel like that happens. But in this case, I mean, the evidence here, I just don't think there was enough for the jury to say, okay.
And there was one thing that I kept reading about, which is, do the injuries match getting hit by a car? And that was the one thing that I think if anybody had a shred of doubt in, you don't want to convict someone, for that reason. I know a lot of people were saying that same thing about like, that's all you need, right? That's all the defense needs. But that one shred of doubt in someone's mind, and one of those things was that, her injuries, maybe there wasn't enough experts to testify to it, but just, I mean, she walks out and she looks like a rock star. I mean, it's insane to see that many people showing up, to someone that they're watching on TV or watching on a court.
Oh yeah, and all of like Netflix, Hulu making documentaries over this case. It's a big one.
And social media, you start getting like these pages of people who think she did or she didn't do it. People get so invested in cases nowadays because of social media and TikTok and documentaries, like you mentioned. It is interesting because it's kind of like
Gypsy Rose
when
Blanchard,
she got out. It was like she was a rock star and she rose to fame very quickly, on Instagram, and she was on talk shows, and it's like you kind of wonder if this will happen. She's kind of dropped off. It was kind of like a 15 minutes of fame. But you kind of wonder if this will be a similar situation.
Yeah.
Just because of everyone on social media having their opinions on it.
Well, I feel like in this case, I mean, they lashed onto just that one little tiny thing, which Jacob was talking about the injuries. And I think what got it for her was, the lawyers telling the jury, he was in a fight at a home near where they found him. So that's what caused his injury. So I think the jury just couldn't, distinguish between what really did happen. And it's just a weird case because you don't know.
You don't.
You don't.
It is wild.
All right, so let's talk about TikTok. Evaded a ban again for the third consecutive time. We've been talking about the TikTok ban for a while now. People, up in arms about this, want to know what's going to happen. Well, it was actually supposed the ban to go into effect today, but the White House had said that the president will sign an executive order delaying it for 90 days now.
Yeah,
so here we are back to square one.
I feel like that it's been banned again. Everyone had the scare of the 12 hours without it, and we haven't seen it since.
Right. But I just know a lot of people, I mean, it's income for them, right? So if it goes away, a lot of U.S. influencers make a lot of money.
Well, and I think that's what they're trying to keep from happening. They don't want it to go away. They just want the ownership to change over, at least on the U.S. side. And so I think that's why it keeps getting delayed, because they're trying to give that chance. Come on, someone buy it. Let's work out a deal.
Yeah, something's got to happen.
It would destroy a lot of lives if it was taken just income-wise.
Yeah, for
It'd help my sleep schedule.
Help my sleep schedule a lot
Are you
as
like
well.
doom scrolling? Are you just going through?
My For You page right now, I feel like I've gotten it to a place where I love, and it's a lot of
Mine's-
golf, and
mine's a
it's
different place every
a lot
day.
of golf, it's a lot of comedy, and I'm just like, every time I watch a new TikTok, I'm like, okay, my golf swing's fixed, it's fixed, and then I'm like, go to the range and it's not. So it's a lot of golf.
You've got to
right now.
watch it again.
Yeah.
It takes a while. I'm telling you, if you hit on one thing you're not interested in, it'll take you a week to get that off of your For You page.
And it listens to you. Yesterday, I was talking some news stories we were talking about. Next thing you know, my entire feed is those news stories. It was wild.
I will say I have gotten a lot more in the last couple of weeks. I've gotten a lot more local stuff. Which has been interesting, like gotten some storm damage TikToks, gotten some local places. That's a big thing. A lot of places, like
Well,
local
you were
places
out
to eat.
reporting on storm damage this week.
Probably
and so,
why.
and so I've seen it, and it was right in that neighborhood in Highfields, and I saw someone, who lived in that area, and I'm like, it's getting more local, and where everyone's like, oh, the For You page is too local, and it's like, it's been getting much more local recently.
It's not local. Mine's in different
I think
countries
too,
right now.
what it does is it'll take like the cookies off your phone, like anything you search online. As Facebook and Instagram are notorious for this. I mean, there was a whole legal case about it. But you may have been researching like, areas around here for like, trying to go to damage. It'll take that. Because my girlfriend, now her whole For You page on TikTok is local Arkansas restaurants, local bars and stuff.
They're
so
like, oh, you moved to Arkansas.
I was going to say, it
that's
is
wild.
very scary. I know there was a documentary a couple years ago on this on Netflix. I don't remember the name of it, but it's very scary what social media companies do to lure people in and keep you on the page. It may be like, try to drop it cold turkey for a week, but it's hard. It's hard to do
We
so.
should we should delete it, guys. We'd probably get so much done in our lives. I know I would.
All right, SpaceX's Starship 36 exploded during a routine static fire test. Have
my
you
goodness.
seen this?
Whoa.
This video actually coming out today, pretty surprising. It shows the rocket bursting into flames and debris flying from the launch pad there. No injuries from the incident, which is fantastic, but just amazing footage coming out.
Yeah, that is wild. So I'm guessing no one was on board, and they were kind of just like testing it by itself.
Right. So they're just basically, people who live in the area, though. It's kind of, getting to them with the smoke and watching out for the debris, kind of keeping everybody away from the area.
So was this a new spaceship that they were testing
for the testing, So it's just amazing video.
So it hadn't done any test runs before.
That's it.
That's
All right,
an
so
expensive explosion right there.
Yes.
I'm saying, all right, let's talk about in Dallas some pretty upset drivers, right? A music video actually shut down the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge for a couple of days. Okay.
Well, no, it was a couple of days ago for an hour. It was during traffic rush.
Yes, sorry, that's what I meant. A couple days ago, set it down for 30 minutes total. But 30 minutes in Dallas, that's a big deal.
Dallas traffic is the worst. I love Dallas. Like, I would move there in a heartbeat, and then I think about the traffic. I think about the amount of time I would waste every day in traffic without someone shutting down the highway for a music video. Can you imagine a long day after work? You're expecting to sit in traffic 30 minutes to an hour.
To wait.
Just to wait, but then someone is filming a music video. So then you're there 2 hours.
It was
2.5 hours.
Shabuzi.
I was just gonna say I was angry until I saw who it was.
Shabuzi and
that's inconsiderate of
Plug. You're big fans of Shabuzi?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and Big X and Plug. I was gonna say I was getting angry with them. I was thinking about getting. When I flew back from Los Angeles back here for when I went home for a wedding. The traffic just getting to the airport. So I was thinking, imagine you had to catch a flight and you were late.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying you're going to wait in traffic for Shabuzi? You're going to be like, oh,
well,
it's all right.
I would be angry
He
if I
wants to
missed
see
a
the music
flight.
video.
Yeah, I want to see the music video when it's done. I was going to say, if I'm late to a flight, I don't know how close that bridge is to DFW.
I think it's like right in the middle of Dallas.
Wow. Yeah, I would say as a passive-aggressive Minnesotan who drives, I would be so mad, especially if that was like it looks like the main bridge to get into town. Like that'd be like if I-49, like if I was coming into work, got shut down. I'd be so mad.
It's just like, do it in the middle of the day. There's always traffic in Dallas, but like, why did you have to do it during
I was
rush
wondering,
hour?
was it like sanctioned? Did they get police? Like, was it?
They got all the permits needed from the city
it's all
and
legal.
also from Texas Department
But you also
of
think
Transportation.
about people that film movies in, let's say, New York City.
Yeah.
When they take off entire streets. I mean, that's maybe because.
But people walk there,
That's
you know?
true, yeah.
And so it's kind of like, if you planned on like grabbing a taxi cab, you can hop on the subway, you can walk. I just wonder with this, because a lot of times in big cities and in Dallas, they have signs that are like 20 minutes on this route, whatever on this route. I wonder if they had digital signs leading up to this warning.
Say, take this detour.
Yeah, I wonder if they did or if people had no clue and they just got stuck.
Right.
They were probably thinking, 30 minutes, it'll be no big deal. But 30 minutes, I'm late for work, we're getting in trouble,
Well,
So
also, like,
it's like, hey.
When you're already just going to be backed up 30 minutes to begin with, then you add 30 minutes on top
Wait,
of
so
it.
I guess another question, is this on the way into work, on the way home?
This is on the way home, I think.
Okay.
I think this is rush hour after work.
I guess, but not necessarily. What if you have, dinner plans or, like kids got to go to a sporting event and then they're late for sports and their coach yells at them?
Oh, so they took the whole lane, it almost looks like.
Oh, yeah.
The whole 2
It
lanes.
was shut down.
Oh.
Like, this wasn't just like we took one lane you could pass by. Like, they shut it down.
Is that what that when we think about that bridge? I don't know anything about that bridge. Is that like an iconic? Like, is that like?
I don't know where it is exactly. Just what we read was that it was in the middle of Dallas.
Yeah, sorry, Jacob. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm angry. I'm getting.
I know, right? Like, it's just kind of inconsiderate.
It's a bit inconsiderate. Jake's over here, though, like, it's all right. It's Shabuzi. Don't
Until you're the
worry
one
about
stuck
it.
behind.
No, I was. That's why, because I was literally thinking about going to the airport, and I couldn't imagine if I found out right then and there that you're about to miss your flight.
Well, big cities too, just so like fast paced, right?
Yeah.
There's always things going on. There's always things to get to. What if you had tickets to a game and then you missed the game because of this? Like, there's just
Or
things.
what if Tiffany had tickets to her Shabuzi,
Yeah, like, there are other things.
All right, so let's talk about a woman in Florida who caught her a white whale after
yes.
20 years of angling. Laurel David, she caught this in the Fort Lauderdale waters. Bite of a lifetime, a rare Opa fish weighing 150 pounds.
Massive.
Now, they're rare because they can regulate their own body temperature, but also because look at them, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty fish.
I
Can you eat
wonder, I mean, right? You gotta be able to.
Or
You can eat all fish,
do you-
I'm
right?
gonna
do you
Google
frame
what
that?
Opa fish tastes like.
Yeah, stuff
Oh,
it.
Hold on.
I mean, yeah, because it looks like a very thin fish. So I don't know how much meat's going to be on those
It might
scales.
be like a really fishy.
Like a
okay.
fishy taste of it.
It
maybe.
says no. Listen to this. It says it has a rich, creamy, and slightly sweet flavor.
Oh.
But it's a firm, meaty texture.
So
Okay.
to your point, is it more
It's
for
a cross
show?
between tuna and
Right.
swordfish.
I was-
Is what it compares it
Oh,
to.
so yeah,
Okay.
if you catch it, would you frame it or would you actually eat it?
Could you do both? Like frame the head and eat the meat?
Well, they do those things where they like put the fish on the wall. So I wonder if they can like.
Well, that's what Joe's saying is
like,
like, you know,
take the meat out.
You know,
Yeah.
like if you just like get the head and then obviously you're not going to eat that and then you just eat the rest.
Stuff it. Taxidermy. I don't know.
Interesting. I haven't thought about that.
All right, it's too pretty to eat, though. I don't know. All right, let's talk about this moose. Take a look at this video. He ran wild through a street in Norway. I think it's probably pretty common for these folks, but I'm just saying, I see a moose coming, I'm getting out of the way.
Oh, for sure. And it's moving pretty
I was
fast.
gonna say, you see that come barreling down your face? Yeah, no chance. I'm getting out of the way. It's
Is
like
that a
li-
baby moose?
Let's see.
It looks like a teen-ish, right?
Yeah,
looks-
it doesn't look like a full grown.
It looks like a little older, but moose are pretty common actually in northern portions of the United States and Minnesota. I have not seen one sprint down a street like that, but they are pretty common, and you can see a lot of bears in that area as well. So yeah, they're kind of
Some
scary.
of those people are walking a little too slow for me.
I don't
Like
look at
she's
them,
just
they don't
picking
care.
up the older woman right there was just picking something up really quick, and she had no care in the world.
Well, I don't think she saw it because she got out of pretty quickly.
But
I mean, if
what
that
she
thing
saw.
hits you, it's like being hit by a linebacker times 1,000.
Yeah.
one, like you can see the people are pretty casual. So
See,
like,
look at she
Yeah,
ju-
they're
she-
just
she
walking.
look at all of them.
Well, they might be used to seeing it.
yeah.
Like to them, like it's
I'm
probably
just saying,
I don't bother it. It doesn't
He's
bother
like,
me.
get out of the way.
Well, it's probably like deer around here. It's just like, oh, you see them and you're like, oh, okay.
But don't moose have
If a deer
antlers?
was running towards me, I would be running.
Minnesota deer are just like if you see one, you're gonna see 10.
Yeah, it looks like that on the highways around here.
Yeah. Okay,
So
okay.
be prepared.
If you see one go across the highway,
I was
you
saying
better, you're about to get hit.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
universal then. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Good
Watch
to
Don't
out
they
for
have
that.
antlers, though?
Moose? That's why I don't think it was full grown.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it
Yeah.
had some, didn't it?
Oh.
Can we
I
see?
didn't see
I don't
him.
know. Where's
Yeah, they're mini.
Get back here, Moose.
Nope.
No.
No, or maybe it's a girl. Do girls
Oh, little.
have?
Are those ear?
Yeah, those are mini ones, I think.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so they're not
goodness.
fully
All
grown.
right.
All right, anyway.
Let's talk about weather here. We're running out of time.
I would say our knowledge is being tested on the Daily Brew today.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've learned everything we wanted to about moose.
I was gonna say, yeah. The only thing is, so I'm looking at the Bentonville camera here, Springdale, Northwest Arkansas, very foggy this morning. So if you're heading out the door, just be mindful of that. River Valley, maybe seeing a couple isolated showers, but for the most part, gonna be pretty dry. The 7-day forecast for today, Northwest Arkansas is going to stay all dry. Once that fog does eventually thin out, there is some blue sky above it. So we're going to be seeing plenty of sunshine for today. And really, you can see the forecast is pretty consistent. High temperatures in the low 90s, low temperatures in the low 70s, and with some sunshine. I think later next week, the pattern will change slightly and maybe see some pop-up showers during the afternoon, but nothing that really substantial. River Valley, the same thing. A little bit of a better chance of storms later this afternoon from about 4 to 7 p.m. And then after sunset, those will fizzle out. But again, be ready for the heat because it is here today and it's here to stay for at least the rest of June.
All right. Hey, thanks so much for waking up with us here on the Daily Brew. It's Thursday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
7 a.m. See you then.